This week on SailAway.
Let's do it.
Light the fires, kick the tires.
Light the tires and kick the fires.
With hurricane season drawing to a close, it's time to get out of Grenada. But first, we've got some updates on the generator saga, a few random fixes, and what's going on with the big one. I've also been thinking about talking to you guys and letting you know what's going on with our port side motor. If you've been with us a while, you know this thing locked up in Charleston and hasn't run for the 6 months since. There are a couple reasons it's still dead weight. We have been very, very strongly considering swapping out that motor for electric. In addition to discussing the whys of that, an all-out pumpkin slaughter takes place, plus a style of trick-or-treating we think is pretty unique to Grenada. It's a candy raid! But with Halloween behind us, it's finally time, and never quite as easy as we expect, to get this boat all on the move again.
Maybe blowing 20. We're doing 10 knots, but see, it's comfortable, and that's what matters.
Ever wish you could escape normal life and experience more of the world?
So maybe on that island. Well, we did just that. We sold everything we owned on dry land and sailed away. Promise me that we'll sail away.
Now we are roaming the planet in search of new adventures and sharing it with you every week.
Just promise me that we'll sail away. So hit subscribe and escape normal with us. And I'll be yours forevermore. Come on, it's just that little button down there. That's it. We are still here in Grenada. Today is Halloween. Halloween is the favorite holiday of one person on this boat, and probably a close second for another person on this boat. And that's another reason we are still here in Grenada. Probably the main reason that we haven't already started to head north is the trick-or-treat here, and the Halloween stuff for the kids is just awesome. Kind of like everything for the kids. We are getting ready to get out of here. Our thought is probably on Thursday, this being Tuesday, and then Thursday we're going to head around and either stop at St. George's or maybe go all the way up to Carriacou, and then we'll be heading to Martinique. If you listen in the background, you might hear a gentle purring sound. That is the generator, still running really well. We installed the OEM Northern Lights version of the AVR, which was $800. Lauren's parents brought it with them. We ordered it and put it in our goodie bag because we knew that the issue with the generator not running our water maker was because that cheap one was not pure sine wave, and it really was a big deal to not be able to do that. And it worked perfectly for the water maker, so we're now able to run the generator, charge our batteries, make water all at the same time. It's really been awesome. This morning I started tackling some of the issues with water getting into our engine compartments. If you remember back a couple episodes, we started to suspect the little grates on the side, their openings being pointed forward and at a slight angle like this. So with that you get rainwater, it's always coming from the front of the boat and back. And then any water that's landing on the deck and draining down and off to the side would also be draining down into those. So really it's just water making its way in. So I flipped those around, and it wasn't too tough. I plucked them off of there. I had to modify one end because they had made it so you could only put it in one way. So I got those flipped around, butyl tape. Had to re-drill a couple holes because they didn't line up just right. But it was a pretty quick little early morning project. I was thinking about it because we're getting ready to go on a passage. We don't expect a lot of rough seas, but it doesn't take many waves to slosh down the deck for that to catch a bunch of water. So wanted to get that under control. I've also been thinking about talking to you guys and letting you know what's going on with our port side motor. That was one of our, obviously, high priority things to take care of once we got settled in down here. The idea was to get in one spot like we are, and then speak with a engine tech and get some help rebuilding that side. Why we haven't done anything with it yet, not much. I've tried to free it up a couple more times and just not able to without taking it apart. When we got here, if you recall, we were having generator issues, which we just solved. It was over a month that I was working on that thing. So it killed so much time trying to work on that kind of put us behind the 8 ball with regards to the port side motor. That's not the main reason though. The biggest reason that I haven't done anything with it yet is we have been very, very strongly considering swapping out that motor for electric, with the idea being we would go with one electric and one diesel until we have it dialed in and working the way we want it to, and then ideally swapping out the starboard for another electric. The price is what really snagged me. We really can't afford to repower with brand new diesels because they're, even like the betas are 20 grand. And from what I'd seen of the electric packages that were really good, they were out of range as well. But as I started to look at the other options, including Thunderstruck, we can put together a motor package for one side for about $5,000, including gear reduction, all the controllers, DC to DC charger, a lot of stuff rolled into that. With the biggest issue for us being putting together the lithium bank to power one or two of these. That's why this is still just something we're thinking about doing. We're going to be going up to the USVI and we're going to be there for a little bit, and that might be an opportunity to do this if we can logistically figure out how to make it work. So we are weighing those options, and obviously until we are certain it's something we want to do, I'm not putting a dime into that port side motor. There's a lot to it. It's also a lot of work. I've got to get that motor out of there. I've got to install the electric setup. There will be some custom parts that'll have to be fabricated in order to mount it in there. So yeah, there's some time, a lot of effort to do it. But that said, it is something that's right up our alley. We love the idea of electric, not getting into a hurry, trying to sail as much as possible, using the motors when we need them. Obviously, it's kind of what we've been doing with one motor for over 2,000 miles now. So we think it would suit us as cruisers. And obviously, the big benefit is it's much kinder to the environment, and it's 2 less motors to maintain. The electric motors themselves are maintenance free. So the big problems always come up with just your battery bank or connections and some of the other stuff. So if those things are put together cleanly and carefully, you've got a pretty maintenance-free propulsion system. That's kind of where we are right now. We are thinking hard about this. We're looking at options, trying to decide if this is the way to go for us. It's not a typical solution, but it's certainly not unheard of. So, I don't know, maybe we'll be showing you something a little bit new, a little bit unusual with a 30-year-old catamaran. For now, I'm gonna drink my coffee and think about it some more, like I do every day.
Okay, bub.
The biggest reason we and other cruising families like us stick around so long each season is because nobody does Halloween quite like this little section of Grenada.
Killing the pumpkin! Kill the pumpkin!
Oh, man. Whoa, all right. You look ready to kill a pumpkin. Nice. Very mild flavor.
Not only does the breed of pumpkins here taste really good, they're also a little more gnarly looking than your typical American version. We think that just adds to the effect.
He's thrown up. It's pretty funny.
This one's mine right here.
Oh, that one's yours. Turn.
It's the candy raid! And then, of course, there's the epic dinghy trick-or-treat. Something we've never heard of anywhere else, and something Rivers wouldn't miss for the world. But Halloween is only Rivers' second favorite holiday. It's Lauren's #1. I think you put together a pretty accurate catamaran for being a woman.
Rivers, I think you got, when you went trick-or-treating, you got a trick. You know what that is?
A prune.
A prune. Do you know what a prune is? Yeah. It's just not really a fruit that most people want. We're up bright and early because today is the day we're going to move, which we haven't done in 3 months, like 2.5. It's not actually been that bad, but we're not going too far. We're just going to go around to St. George's, which we think is like 4 hours, but since we haven't moved in so long, it's going to take us a while to up anchor because there's a lot of growth on that anchor. So I think Eric's going to hop in pretty soon, start scrubbing, and then we'll be out of here.
That's got to be good luck, right? Just a brief little shower, give us a nice rainbow. Looks like the end of the rainbow is in St. George's, so...
We're going to follow it.
Or Nimrod's, I don't know which. Nothing brings a tear to Chris's eye like a double rainbow.
Well, spilled beer, but...
Alright, well, it's about 7:10. I think Lauren's already spoke to you guys. We're getting ready to get out of here. Got a pretty morning. Gonna be a little rainy for a little bit. We're pretty excited. The boat is pretty much ready to go. Checked all the rigging yesterday. Checked all the fluids, got everything. What do you think? Running pretty well. It's nice we get a little shakedown cruise for just a few hours over to St. George's, so if there is anything still needs some rust shaken off, we'll be able to take care of it when we get over that. Sadly, I should probably deflate my board. I don't think there's going to be enough wind in St. George's to do anything with it. Or time. Well, I got it done. I got the whole bottom clean. I kidded myself when we bought this boat that it's like 50% more than a monohull. It's not. It's like 3 times as much. But man, the chain is terrible. There's so much hard growth on it. It's like encrusted. It looks like something out of a galleon in the 1600s or something.
To sea in the name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew harder.
There are several tasks we typically tick off before weighing anchor, especially after sitting for a while. We thoroughly inspect all the rigging and hardware, perform basic checks and inspections on the generator and motor, and clean the bottom. Lastly, we clean off the chain. There's always soft growth after sitting for a while, but it's generally not that tough to get off.
You know you've been here too long when you got to get the tools out to unanchor.
For some reason this time it was a much different story.
Ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go. It's still kind of dirty. But some of those chunks, those clusters were like 2 or 3 inches around. Never seen anything that bad before. We always have to clean it off beforehand. That was crazy. Let's do it.
Light the fires, kick the tires.
Light the tires and kick the fires.
that what I said?
That's what I said.
Rivers, you want to press the button?
There are always some small dramas and some dust to shake out of our brains, but eventually things start to feel normal again. Still, every first sail after a long sit comes with its share of anxiety and nervousness. But once you're actually sailing again, it doesn't take long for all of that to fall away. It's also nice when you have a warm-up with not too far to go.
A little bit of a to-do with the anchor, but we just popped off the windlass and it came undone. All good. Now we're on to St. George's, so should be good. There's actually more wind than we thought there would be. So we got the sails up and I think we're gonna jive around. Good to go. See your new sailing gloves. Ready? Pull some lines. Nice. Blowing 20, we're doing 10 knots, but see, it's comfortable, and that's what matters. Thank you, Pumpkin, for letting me carve you.
Oh, it literally, it came off.
Yep.
Daddy, the head and the back, when it hit the water, they just went.
Really sad about it.
Yeah.
Devastated.
Well, it wasn't even 4 hours, it was like 2.5. And we're headed in to St. George's. Super easy. Got a little windy, nothing crazy. It's a good shakedown sail. Now we're gonna mooring for the night, check out, and leave tomorrow for Martinique. As long as the weather's still good. We still gotta look at the weather.
Trying to beat the rain so we can go check out. Okay.
We did not beat the rain. Oh well. It's a little water. So let's do this when there's a gust. It's perfect. Okay, port's off.
Much better. 12 knots instead.
12. I like 12. George's. Goodbye, Grenada.
Bye, George.
Bye, George.
Bye.
To Grenada. So here we are leaving Grenada for Martinique. Should be 1 day, 1 hour is what it says. We'll probably do it in more than that because that's just a straight shot. But I was really excited to get over to St. George's. I was hoping to go see the sculpture park, but as you can tell by the weather, that was not going to happen. So we'll have something to do next time, if there is a next time. Who knows?